From the very first moment I saw her standing behind that small charity bake stall, sunlight spilling over her shoulders like a blessing, I felt something shift inside me, something quiet, yet powerful enough to unsettle the heaviness I had been carrying for years. I didn't know her name, I didn't know anything about her, but her smile felt like a doorway back into a world I had forgotten how to belong to. And it terrified me, because I'd convinced myself a long time ago that someone like me didn't get second chances. If you believe in kindness, healing, or second chances, please like, comment, share and subscribe. It truly helps stories like this reach more hearts. Her name, I later learned, was Emily, a woman who laughed easily, who baked like it was a form of therapy, and who carried a quiet sadness in her eyes that mirrored my own pain. That day, I had stopped by her table more out of restlessness than hunger. My life had been a cycle of working night shifts, sleeping alone, and pretending I didn't care that I was drifting through life without meaning after losing my mother 3 years earlier. Grief had a way of shrinking my world, and I had let it become my whole identity. But Emily looked at me as if she could see the version of me I had lost along the way. She handed me a slice of cinnamon cake, her specialty, she said. When I took a bite, something inside me melted, and jokingly, almost without thinking, I muttered the ridiculous line that would change my life forever. Will you marry me? I'll eat every cake you bake. She laughed, one of those warm, unrestrained laughs that lift your chest. It wasn't until months later, when everything in my life began to crumble, that I realized she hadn't forgotten that moment. She had tucked it away like a secret. But in the beginning, it wasn't romance. It wasn't sudden sparks or instant declarations. It was friendship, slow, healing, real. Emily had a way of making ordinary moments feel meaningful. She would invite me to try new recipes, ask for my completely unqualified feedback, and listen gently whenever my memories of my mother broke through. She never pushed me to move on, she simply stood beside me, letting time thaw the parts of me I'd kept frozen. Still, life had its own ways of testing the fragile piece I was building. Emily was struggling more than she let on. Her small bakery was losing money. She worked late into the night to keep it afloat, smiling through exhaustion. But I could see it, the fear she carried of losing the one thing that connected her to her late grandmother, who had taught her everything about baking and kindness. The bakery was her anchor, just as my memories were mine. We were two people trying desperately not to lose the pieces of life that had once made us feel loved. When the landlord raised her rent, I found her sitting alone one night, surrounded by empty mixing bowls, trying to hide the tears she didn't want anyone to see. She didn't need to say a word. The bakery meant everything to her, and she was about to lose it. Something inside me cracked open. Maybe it was because I knew what it felt like to lose the last thing that kept you connected to someone you loved. Maybe it was because, somewhere along the way, she had become the one person I couldn't imagine losing too. I started helping after work, washing dishes, delivering orders, fixing shelves, cleaning floors, anything to lessen the weight she carried. Together, we turned the bakery into a warm, lively space. We hosted community events, charity bake sales, even small workshops. Little by little, people returned. Emily's smile returned. And for the first time in years, I felt alive. Then came the festival day. The photo you provided could have been taken at that very moment. The sun was bright, the air smelled of frosting and summer, and Emily looked happier than I had ever seen her. I was nervous, though I hid it behind my usual teasing. When she handed me a cupcake with messy frosting, I jokingly repeated the line from the first day we met, "If I eat enough of these, will you finally marry me?" She didn't laugh this time. Instead, she looked at me with a softness that made my chest tighten, as if she had been waiting for that moment far longer than I realized. "I thought you'd never ask," she whispered, and her voice trembled, not with fear, but with relief. The world around us blurred. I felt like I was standing at the edge of something life-changing, and for once, I wasn't afraid to step forward. We didn't have a perfect life afterward. There were bills, struggles, restless nights, messy kitchens, and moments when we wondered if love was really enough. But every morning, we woke up knowing we had chosen each other. And every evening, we locked the bakery together, knowing we were building something that would outlast both fear and loss. In her, I found the love I thought was lost forever. In me, she found the support she had always given others but rarely received herself. We weren't two perfect people. We were two wounded souls who somehow healed each other by simply showing up, every day, every moment, without conditions. And maybe that's what love really is. If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps more people find these emotional stories.